Making Sense with Mathquez is a weekly podcast where you can find tips on teaching and parenting, as well as weekly reflections based on biblical principles, or as we like to call them, chicky nuggies of wisdom. And now, your host of the show, my Poppy.
Welcome to episode 0 of Making Sense with me, Jeff Vasquez, also known as Mathquez. More on that later. So to kick off this new adventure, I wanted to briefly describe what in the world we're doing here and what I hope to accomplish in the little time that we have. And it's deliberately short because I value your time. And I know from experience that the teacher break times, whether that's transitions between classes or meal time, these times are notoriously short. So these episodes are designed to be easily consumed in smaller segments of downtime. And just like you heard our son Lucas say in the intro, my purpose here is rooted in service to my fellow educators out there, whether you're homeschoolers or classroom teachers, first year or 15th year. I'm here to offer you the lessons I've learned in my 20 plus years of teaching. From the East Coast, where I began my career teaching in the West Bronx, to helping start a school in Bushwick, where it's always a great day to be a lion. And my current placement here in the beautiful Central Valley in California. Wait, why did I just call it a current placement? Well, stay tuned. I might just cover that in a future episode where I'll share what made our whole family of 6 move from one coast to the other. So back to these lessons I've learned. Now, here's my disclaimer. I am far from a celebrated authority in my field, although I know my picture's in a book somewhere. Listen, I'm simply somebody who's been around the block a few times. I've got some useful information that I'd like to pass along. I used to liken my experience in the classroom to that of a cast member at Disneyland, especially since I've been blessed to work in schools where we get lots and lots of visitors. And I don't mean that sarcastically. These are great schools filled with amazing experiences, not unlike roller coasters, where people want to come visit, stay a while, maybe even work. Just like the folks wearing these costumes at these theme parks must have a story or two to share, I've got some insights that I'd like to offer. Here's the thing. I also know the person who created the amusement park in my analogy. He's the creator of the universe. And the lessons learned are grounded in my perspective of who God is. Well, I hope that that's an encouragement to you. Now, what's up with the name Mathquez? Well, that's a nod to a nickname I earned during my 8th year of teaching, which felt a lot like my first since it was the founding year of a charter school I helped launch back in 2007. I was teaching a 5th grade math class at the time, and the mom of one of my students back then thought it would be cool to combine the name of my content with my last name. That simple. And it stuck with me. So what can you expect when you tune in every week? The current plan is to stick to 2 segments. One teacher tip or parenting advice. That's right, we've got 4 sons. 2 young men who will be in high school this fall, 11-year-old Lucas, who you met, and a 2-year-old who is currently living his best life, completely carefree, and a huge, huge fan of Paw Patrol. All right, so one weekly reflection, and that's going to be a moment where I share an insight from the week that I hope challenges your way of thinking while at the same time encouraging your heart. So again, 2 segments, 1 teaching tip, 1 weekly reflection. That's it. That's all we have for this week. Until next time, thank you so much for listening. The Bible says in Proverbs 10:21, "The lips of the righteous nourish many, but fools die for a lack of sense." So here I am, just a follower of Christ, trying to live out my faith and make sense of the world around us, hoping to share some nourishment every week. Now, if you appreciate this content, please do me a favor and consider subscribing and sharing this podcast with others you think would benefit from tuning in.